Let me know when you're ready. Dr. Matthews, go to your left a little bit. Go to your left just to say, there you go, thank you. Yeah, perfect. 3. I'm ready as well. 2.
Greetings in the name of God, the beneficent person. We thank you for your presence and we thank you for your patience. We have collectively come into the Quanell High School to speak out against a track coach. A track coach who almost cost a young student athlete his life. This young boy was punished by this track coach. And of course, to do hundreds of push-ups as a form of punishment. And this young boy nearly lost his life trying to complete the task of punishment that was an inappropriate punishment by the coach. The punishment that was administered has not been approved of by the district, nor is it approved of by the administration here on campus. And this coach must be terminated, must be fired. CPS must come in and investigate this coach to see if he's punished other children inappropriately. This young boy was put in the intensive care unit for days, simply because this coach chose to punish him inappropriately and incorrectly. We don't want coaches or administrators creating their own forms of punishment that's not approved of by the district or parents and putting children in intensive care units because of the silly decision by a coach. The mother and father here, tell what happened to your child when and what things happened last week. Go ahead.
So this incident occurred November the 19th through the 25th. My son was hospitalized due to the coach's misjudgment. He was diagnosed with a muscle damage disease. I can't quite spell it, but it starts with an R. He was pushed to the limit where he was unable to wipe his own nose, let alone feed himself, because of a coach's decision, because he's tardy to class, because he's tardy and he's not going to get to his classroom. So as an adult in the same age group as me, how could I have empathy on a man who understands that that's an adolescent, that's a child, that's not an adult. And you make him do an amount of push-ups that's pushed him to be hospitalized for 6 days, hooked up to an IV where he has to get his system flushed out from muscle cells, from keeping my son to stay alive, to stay healthy, that he couldn't even play with his siblings, he couldn't do nothing. Just had to just sit there. Like, and it's cold season, so of course he's sneezing, he's running down his nose, and you just having to be that mother when you have to be a mother to others and have to take care of your son just to hard. This coach is an assistant coach for the track for the boys sports team. And he took it upon himself to feel as if Quincy didn't move swiftly enough to get to his classroom because he was tardy. So he decided to take it out on him and make him do this many push-ups, which caused his head trainer to give me a call and say, well, Quincy is, let's say my son's name, but my son, my son may need to go to the urgent care or go to a place where they need to check his blood levels. And of course I'm alert, like, as a parent, why does my son need to go to the urgent care and get his blood work checked when he's just at practice? What do you mean? So of course we took him to the urgent care November the 19th when this happened on a Wednesday. My son got home, he was saying, Mom, I feel my arms feel like noodles. I was like, son, like, okay, you're like, what's going on? You had a a nice practice. Like, what was you doing? Lifting weights? You know, like, just stop pushing. Don't push yourself. So he's like, no, coach made me do da-da-da-da-da. So he went into detail, and once he went into detail, and I said, okay, well, what does it hurt? So I broke his arm as a mother. You broke his arm, and you try to make sure that he's okay. And about a few minutes later, he comes back and he says, no, I think we need to go to the urgent care because, like, this something feels weird. So I said, okay, so we go, and that's when they take him in. Then you're usually at an urgent care or ER for at least hours before they admit you in. They admitted my son within 45 minutes, had him 45 minutes to an hour, I want to say. By somewhere between the hour to maybe 3, I want to say 2.5, he was fully hooked up and said, well, this is what we need to do to go ahead and flush his system out with the muscle cells because they may just build up around his kidneys, which may cause kidney damage for my son. And they're telling him he can't even. He's unable. My son is an athlete where he can take a football and throw, and then he needs these to catch a ball to throw to do what he needs to do. But you're telling me my son can't even clean his nose, and this is what he's stuck with, and this is not even with crutches. Like, it's not with. I'm sorry. It's just.
Father, just gonna be up for something.
Yes, I have talked to the coach myself, and I asked him, would you do this exercise that you done to my son?
Right.
And he told me, no way. I said, well, why would you do that to my son? Why would you subtract him as him being an athlete now that it just, hold on, man. It just took him to where he can't even function right as a person now. So if he want to go play basketball or do something, he can't even do it no more because he's stricken that from him. He took that from him. So now, as a child, I got to look at my son every day and tell my son, hey, son, it's going to be all right, but you can't do that. You can't do this. And it hurts me as a father to sit here and tell my son that he can't do this and can't do that because a man that was high in his ego took that away from my son. That hurts as a father. So now I gotta look at my son in pain, arms swole, arms big, and I gotta deal with that every day. My son, Daddy, what can I do this, son? You can't do that. You'll end up back in the hospital. They say you gotta take it light. So it hurts me. It hurts me every day to sit here and gotta explain to my son over and over what he cannot do. But the coach looks at me and he was like, well, I'm sorry. Would you take your child and do that? He says no. Well, why would you do that to my child?
In fact, let us point this out. The coach was so dead wrong. He called the family volunteering to pay for all the medical expenses. That's how wrong he knew he was.
Right.
He wanted to shut them up from complaining to the administration in the district of what he did. Go ahead, Don.
Well, I just say this, family, let me tell y'all something. We're definitely going to ensure and get on top of this for you guys. Because at the end of the day, we are parents as well.
Right.
We have children that are in sports and things like that. And your child was robbed of their opportunity.
Yep.
Okay? Because let me explain something to you. We do not send our children to school to come here and then in an ICU. This is not what we're doing. What this is child endangerment. What this is an actual coach that has a clipboard, that has a whistle, but then endangered a child in the process. This is another form of what we call buck breaking. And this is what they did to their son. And we are going to ensure that this coach is fired. Because at the end of the day, what we're not going to do is have our children to come to school, to have our children that's supposed to be here to get the education, and then end up in ICU. This is unacceptable. Absolutely.
And what's so sad about it is this young man was being punished for just being tardy to a class.
Tardy.
Not tardy to track practice. Not anything involving track. This young boy, this student, this child was only tardy to a class. This punishment by this assistant track coach was not approved of by the head coach, was not approved of by the athletic director. This is not approved of by the district or by the UIL, which is the compliance organization of all athletes in Texas in high school sports. And the sad part about it is this man is still on campus right now. We're demanding his immediate termination. He's unfit and he's not qualified to be a coach, a teacher involved with students on any level. These parents right now are dealing with a temporarily handicapped, disabled child. This coach's punishment has that child with a disability right now. What parent wants to send your child to school and you're told because your child was taught in class, your child now must spend 6 days in intensive care in a hospital. And now your child is temporarily handicapped, can't clothe himself, can't feed himself. What parent wants to face that nightmare? And so we're demanding that Katy ISD terminate this assistant coach immediately. Immediately. And we want all parents to question your children about this coach, because I don't believe that he started with this particular young man in the beginning.
He was too comfortable.
I believe that this man has done this before, and we want other students to come forth and speak out about this particular coach. We're praying for their son. We're asking the public to pray for their son, and we're praying for a speedy recovery, that this young man one day can re-enter athletics and fulfill his dream of being a high school student athlete. He has great ambitions for the next level. But this coach, all because this young boy was tardy to a class, put this boy in the hospital for 6 days in intensive care, and now he can't feed or clothe himself, and that disability he has right now has affected him in school. He can't even really participate in school activities right now like he was supposed to as a student because of this coach's punishment. Any questions? Any questions? We thank you for your time. We thank you for your patience. But this teacher gotta go. This assistant coach gotta go. And he should not be allowed to be a coach anywhere in the district or in the state of Texas.
Well, at this point, he's considered as an educational assassin, is what he is. Because that's exactly what he did to their child. And we need to know who else he done it to.
For just being tardy to a class?
To a class.
Thank you for your presence.
No, go ahead.
Thank you for your presence and your time. We appreciate you. Thank you. That concludes our press conference.